Good morning, a new month, a new abstract challenge. It's September 2019, and at least here, autumn or fall, however you call that season, right, immediately struck. It has become really cold. So yeah, this month's abstract challenge, this September 2019's abstract challenge is about paper. And this video is a bit different than the ones before that I made for the abstract challenge, because in this video I will not show you any photos that I made, and I also won't show you the process that was involved to make these photos. No, in this video I want to talk a bit about abstract photography in general. What is abstract photography? Where are the limits of abstract photography? What is abstract? And also why I learned to love abstract photography, and this is how I will start. What I love about abstract photography is that abstract photography, to me, and please don't hesitate to put your thoughts into the comments, right? If you agree with me, do that in the comments. If you disagree with me, do that in the comments. Let's start a conversation about that. To me, abstract photography is the purest form of photography. It is photography. It's the process and the result combined, right? I don't know if that makes sense. Let me try to explain. Usually when we take a photo, right, for example, of that cat, then we do that to have a photo of that cat. Or when we take a photo of that building, we do that to have a photo of that building. When we take a photo of that person, we do that to have a photo of that person. We want to have something, a photograph, that represents something else. So the photograph itself is more or less a vessel for the idea of that cat, that building, that person. And maybe that specific moment, right? Or that event that we went to. And there's nothing to say against that. This is one way to approach photography, right? But abstract photography is a bit different. And this is the point. Because in abstract photography, it's not about creating something that represents something very concrete. That's different, right? But it's about as I mentioned, the act of photography, the process, and also the result. And not so much what the result has to do with what it is that I photographed. And that can be huge fun. And for me, this is the most important part of all sorts of photography, to have fun, to enjoy myself, to create something. I love doing things. I love creating things. And but there's even another amazing thing that happens more or less automatically when we play around with abstract photography. Because this is not the biggest revelation ever, right? It's not a revelation at all. It's just an apparent thing, right? Some photos work better than other photos. But why is that? Why do some photos work better than other photos? In a lot of cases, it's because of the way they are composed. Right? The way they use compositional factors, elements, colors, patterns, shapes, light, shadow, lines, motion, whatever it is. And in abstract photography, we play around with these different, we can play around, this is one way, right? With these different elements. We take one element, one compositional element, or more than one element, and play with that. we explore what these things do, right? What their effect is. And so by playing around with that, we consciously or subconsciously learn how they work, right? And the resulting photo, the abstract photo, can be something extremely awesome, right? Or interesting that has nothing whatsoever to do with what was in front of the camera. So, and this is really an amazing way to learn how compositional elements work and how we can, and that, as I said, works consciously or subconsciously, that we can implement into our non-abstract photography. So this is a pretty awesome thing, right? Abstract photographs very often are the composition. Abstract photographs often are the patterns, the shapes. They are the color, right? And they are not that cat or that building or that person. So there is always this lingering question. At least we had that on the blog and discussions with the blog members and a lot, and it also showed up in comments, and this is also one reason why I made this video. Where are the limits, right? When is an abstract photo abstract enough? Is abstract photography only then legit or correct when what we see is completely unrecognizable, when we don't know what it is? Well, see, of course there are definitions like that. If you want to follow this very, very narrow definition of abstract or abstract photography, do so, please. But we don't want to limit anyone in doing anything. Sure, there are questions whether if we, let's say, take a photo of an apple on a wooden desk, whether this is an abstract photo or not. Most people would probably say no, me included. Others would argue, well, the fact alone that we make a two-dimensional picture of a three-dimensional object, this is already an abstraction. Well, then photography in itself is an abstraction, which I agree with, but that isn't enough to call it abstract photography because, well, then everything photography would be abstract, right? Or abstract photography. So there needs to be some sort of an factor that adds even more abstraction. And so for us, it's more, at least for me, and I think I speak for the other members as well, past or present, that as soon as we take something out of its context and present it in a new light, and that can be by getting closer or getting further away in a more or less extreme way, or even surreal photography, so showing something very concrete and putting it in a surreal context, can also be abstract photography. So I wouldn't limit abstract photography to something that is unrecognizable as a very specific object, right? So the important thing is, and I think I will wrap that up now, this video, to have fun, to explore, to find shapes, patterns, light, shadow, and focus whatever, right? Lines, other compositional elements, and focus on these and show them in a way that go beyond the concrete reality of something or someone. So yeah, if you agree with me, then please write it in the comments. If you disagree with me, also please write it in the comments. Let's have a discussion on that. You can write the comments either on Tumblr or also on YouTube. So yeah, there will be a video and another video soon, not about abstract photography, but I mentioned it in the last video that I might get a reverse mount adapter for macro photography, and I got one. So I will show you how this works, and I will make a comparison to my macro tubes and also to a real macro lens. So this will be one of the next videos. And also I forgot the macro lenses that can be put in front of the camera. And maybe I even make a combination. We will see. So this one's for today. My name's Pete. I like pictures. Bye-bye. By subscribing to this channel and hitting that bell button, you can get sure to never miss any of my videos.